Hello. Hey, it's a pleasure to see you. We missed you. It's only been a week, but really, you should just move in. I think it's time at this point. Welcome to Ways of Old. We really appreciate you being here. Um, I have no announcements, I don't think. Yeah, everything cool's happening tomorrow. We'll get to that later. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the people you guys actually want to see. Let's go ahead and jump into meeting our players, shall we?
Oh, hello, my darling people. It is me again, your beneficent Emperor Avery. No, I'm just kidding. I'm Avery. I'm at Golden Gwydion on all the social media platforms, and this evening I will be playing the debonair debutante, the bombastic bard, the lascivious lover, Calamus Acarus.
I'm Luna or druidbynight. You can find me at druidbynight on all the social medias, including here on Twitch. And tonight I am playing Sorcerer Supreme and Lover to a Vampire, Cersei Aveline.
Hello, everybody. I am Azure, or simply Rachel, and I am Ingrid of Sintra, Bear Witcher.
Hello. Sometimes I'm here being Relg, future miner slash carpenter, depending on how this situation goes with the cabin. But usually I'm as I was on the social media because I think I'm funny.
Well said, everyone. It's a pleasure to see all y'all returned here. As I said, I have no announcements, so let's go ahead and jump into today's episode of Ways of Old, shall we? We begin each episode as we always do with a recap. However, while I die, uh, I'm gonna take care of this one. So, let me get some mood music started for everyone. We last left our heroes after Sister Envelia and Vincent and Sunshine had departed from their camp. All of them had decided that we should probably leave this place. And so that was kind of the whole scenario. As Cersei and Elodie took a moment to themselves to bathe and reconnect, taking a soft moment to just be together, be with one another. Some tension built in the camp between Aurelia and Calamus, as well as, very briefly, Aurelia and Ingrid. She chastised the group for their heroics, their proclivity for being the last man standing, and for the heroic efforts to be the one holding the line. This, of course, led to some tension. A number of our players, or rather our characters, lamented and kind of backed down from this, saying that they should be smarter. They agreed, but not Calamus. Calamus was standing by his actions, standing by his morals, sticking to his choices, which only led to further whips and barbs being thrown back and forth between the two. This, of course, all being done while our heroes packed up camp. While Cersei and Elodie were down reconnecting, Cersei reflected on her hate, her anger, all the emotions that were running through her toward Renwick would cause the heroes so much pain. This resulted, though perhaps not fully known, not fully grasped by Cersei Aveline, a curse. Cersei is aware that magic left her for a moment. She had cast something. She recognized that it was something built around anger, negativity. She recognized it as a curse, but does not quite know what the repercussions of that might be. As the two finished and rejoined their friends, they began to make their way. Aurelia cast Standing Portal, and they were teleported to the decided location of Sintra, nearby where Ingrid has kept a sort of home away from home. Well, it's difficult to have a home away from home when one doesn't necessarily have one, but nonetheless, a rough, a sort of lodge that she's kept to herself for some time. Along the road, a troop of the Nilfgaardian soldiers was making their way to some battle line, some fortress, but Calamus recognized one from their youths. They stopped, they chatted, much to the chastising of the group. Using the wet bag, they urged Calamus to return to the cart and to not trust everyone that he saw, but Calamus, and held firm, stood by his, what would you call it, morals, graces. Calamus visited with his friend, and through this, he gained some information that his younger brother was going to take on the black armor of Nilfgaard willingly. And so, a pit stop may need to be made to Atra during this time. But our heroes journeyed on, made their way to Ingrid's old home, began to unload the cart, and make a semblance of home here, while Calamus noticed something as Aurelia had spoken to him using her own telepathy when he was speaking with this Nilfgaardian soldier. She had called him by his true name. Full true name. Which the group was under the impression that she did not know. So, Calamus asked for a private moment, and now, where we join them now, Calamus has revealed that he caught the information, has cornered her, and demands answers. Before we jump into where you are, Calamus, let's take a look at where everyone else is, just for clarity's sake. Ingrid, Cersei, Relg, while this interaction is taking place, of course Elodie is with you all. What are you all up to? What is your plan of action here currently?
I remember for Ingrid, she's kind of going a little bit around the cabin, going through some of the nearby trees, just trying to make sure that the area is as secure as it can be, checking for potential traps, checking for pretty much anything that might be out of sight from what she remembers, or different from what she remembers, or unsettling.
We had you make a check last, near the end of last session. Nothing seemed to be out of place. You may, of course, if you feel comfortable with your roll, from last session, reroll if you'd like.
I'm gonna do a reroll because I don't remember what.
Understood.
That's okay.
As a reminder, because it is the start of a new session, you guys have your luck refilled.
Of course, of course.
All three of them.
All three of them.
I'm back to 8. Apparently, I didn't use my luck at all last session, actually. Okay. Is this awareness? $20.
Doesn't look like anything has been here. Thing is caused an uproar. It's again just a bit dusty, a little bit dank, a little bit of a disrepair, but it looks like the only thing that's really visited is the wildlife that's squeezed through.
Got you. Yeah, that's all she's going to be doing right now, at least for the moment. I feel like it's going to take some time anyways to do that.
Well, Cersei.
I think Cersei is just was also keeping an ear out and unloading their stuff and just making sure Elodie's comfortable as she can be.
Understood.
If I
Easily.
remember right, I also went on a perimeter check. Looking at my notes.
Perimeter check. Let's have an awareness roll from Relg.
So die rolled a 1 on. Give it another chance.
Did it earn its place?
It did. It gets to stay. No dice jail. 14.
14. Not terrible. You look as you do a perimeter sweep. Nothing terrible. Doesn't seem to be visited recently. You catch tracks of people, but they're no longer here. They seem relatively older. From what you can gather, it looks like a number of individuals. Could be anything really. It's difficult to tell. Could have anyone been from a number of bandits making this place as a hideaway. Could be individuals running from something, seeking shelter. Perhaps just squatters that were able to find this place and on a pit stop over to Sintra proper.
So, with that information, Rogue would kind of go back to helping unload the cart. If Cersei was there for a moment, just. I think we're in the clear for the most part. Doesn't seem like anyone's been here in a while.
Fuck me, I was muted. That's good. Thank you for looking at that. This looks cozy.
Good. It's far enough back that we should be fine.
I think so too.
Do you need help with getting Elodie settled, or is she alright?
What is that lady doing?
Not terribly. She's kind of just taking the scenery in, helping unload as best she can. She's not down and out for the count. The injuries, again, like we discussed last session, are deeper, hidden.
She's okay. Look, well, okay. But we're just unloading right now.
Alright, I'll help you out with that so she can just kind of rest.
Thank you.
And while he's in the back with the cart, is gonna go through stuff again and try and do a better job than he did when they were like on the run, when he was trying to find the potential pickaxe and just kind of threw things wherever. So it's kind of also cleaning up the cart where he definitely misplaced things.
Understood. Let's briefly visit as well Ingrid of Sintra. And on your own perimeter sweep, investigation of this place, we briefly asked you to describe certain aspects of this place. Anything else you'd like to share as narrative as you'd like to fill this space out?
My ass can just go into the full description that I wrote out
Please do.
earlier today. The exterior of Ingrid's home is just outside of it's located just outside of Sintra in a moderately large cabin nestled into the trees of the forest that surround the capital. Commissioned by Queen Calanthe for the Witcher, Ingrid had insisted on helping with the construction. So while large, it is still quite Spartan in design, reflecting the Bear Witcher's traveling nature. A few windows, shutters held closed from the inside, decorate the walls, along with two large doors. One centered as the main entryway, framed by a small fenced porch, and another around the back. A moderate stone-make chimney rests on one side. An outhouse and stable are kept around back, and a nearby small river acts as a good spot for bathing and fishing. The walls have seen better days, as vines and other such foliage have long begun to take back the man-made abode, with damage showing in the walls, doors, and windows of its years of neglect.
Excellent. Tell me, Ingrid, as Aurelia and Calamus find themselves in a private space. What room do you think they might be in?
Considering if I remember correctly, they just walked in and closed the door, and Calamus closed door behind him.
Interior room.
Yeah.
Mm.
So they would be in the living space, reflecting the same Spartan nature as the rest. There are actually a few notable decorations. A couple of large bookshelves holding several dusty and worn tomes and books of various kind. A large torn hide couch sits near the stone make fireplace. Bits of charcoaled wood remaining from the last fire burnt there. A cooking pot resting within, along with several cooking implements along the side. A ragged furred carpet rests on the floor. Scattered about are small wooden figurines, carved figurines, in the shape of various monsters and creatures. On the wall and by the fireplace would be a simple shield with the Cintran crest adorned upon it. So 3 gold lions on a field of blue.
Excellent. Thank you, Ingrid. Calamus, are you with us? Give us a sign.
One moment more. We
No
had an
worries.
incident happen,
Understood. No worries.
but
Let's-
looking at the, like, with the description, when we came up to the house, does it look like it needs repair?
Yeah. It's being taken back by the forest and whoever decided to touch it while we were gone.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't look like it's been like the target of any natural disaster, nor does it look like it's been the target of like a siege. But it's old, in the
Yeah.
sense that it hasn't been visited in what, 8 years?
Yeah, about 8 years. I was going to say that there was a large chain over around the door with a lock on it, but
That shit's gone.
Calamus is already inside. So yeah.
You can certainly remember it that way, but that shit's fucking. As a note as well, Ingrid, if you would kindly, you said a few things were adorning that room. The shield, the wooden figures. Is there anything else of note that might have been particularly interesting in just the whole house in and of itself?
There was one thing, but that got moved. In the whole house, there's there's also 2 bedrooms. I'm just gonna go ahead and say the whole thing then. There are
Please do.
also 2 bedrooms on either side. So there's the main living space and entryway, the chimney and fireplace in the back of that, with the couch there. So that when you walk in, you're looking at the back of the couch. And on either side are 2 other doors that lead to the 2 bedrooms of the house. They are equal in size, equally Spartan, containing only beds with furred blankets and carpets, desks with worn candles. But the room on the left has scattered notes, pages, all worn by time, of course, along with other leather-bound books atop it. Maybe even a rusted knife stuck into it somewhere there, if it's even still there. Yeah. That's pretty much it.
Relga, I know you had a question or you had something intended. But one last bit of note. The knife, several of the furred blankets, a couple of the wooden figurines, though we'll take an inspection of the home entirely. A lot of the things are missing. Not the books as well. Some of the books are gone. That is to be
And
seen.
I intentionally didn't describe what the other room had, for the most part, outside of what Spartan implements Ingrid would have had in there, because that's on. I'll give that over to you narratively, from what I told you.
We'll get to that. Relg, you had something.
When Ingrid comes back, I'm gonna ask Ingrid about it.
You can easily catch her. But did we want to go to Calamus now, or did we want to do that now?
Dealer's choice. You guys just can decide amongst yourselves.
Yeah, Ingrid is kind of just like scoping around, like checking for where she used to have possibly just traps laying around, seeing if there is anything around, but she hasn't seen anything, and just checking to make sure the place is safe. You can tell she's really in depth into this and kind of just like thinking.
Ingrid, I had a question real quick about your
Yes.
house. Did you want some help with plot? I need your help to stay here. So.
Ingrid kind of just in that moment turns to the cabin, almost like she hadn't looked at it on purpose just yet. Instead, like that's why, like she had just been like like if you saw like her actually doing it, she was kind of like keeping her eyes on the ground or in the distance away. This is her first time really looking at it, and she's just like, yeah, yes. If we are going to be making our home here for the time being, or at least a safe space here for the time being, we should reinforce it and clean it up as best as we can. I know this is probably not the best of locations for Cersei, but we will have to make do.
We're gonna fix them.
I appreciate it. Are you doing okay?
Overall, could be better, but kind of helps.
I think that is the mood all around right now, but if it helps, this is as safe an area as I can make it. And I know this place like the back of my hands, should we need to flee for whatever reason.
Good. Thank you for all this, by the way.
Yes, of course. Feels strange being back here.
Can't really relate to the feeling, but all right. Well, I'll get started on that then, and then Rogue's just gonna kind of nod, awkwardly walk away.
You know, Ingrid's doing like a little bit of an awkward shuffle.
You don't want to talk about this. I won't make you.
She's kind of just okay. To be perfectly fair, to give a little bit of an insight into Ingrid's mind right now, we were in Heron Kaduk for like technically all of like what 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, somewhere in that ballpark. Didn't really have enough time to sink in. It's sinking in here.
We let Ingrid process. Go.
Yeah.
Try and be a carpenter.
You got this. I believe in you. Become a Relg of all trades.
The rogue of all trades. Yes.
With that, we rejoin a darker room. Alamis, Aurelia. You want to answer?
It's not due of you, Aurelia, to ask questions you know the answer to.
I don't suppose that I will be permitted to join. Find a comfortable seat to tell the story.
If you would like to get everything out of the way and tell everyone all at once, that can. I'm not opposed to that. I just didn't think you'd feel the urgency of the situation unless it began here. I don't want to hurt you, Aurelia. You might be a bitch, but I respect you.
I need a roll from you, Callum. It's just, let's call this... Let's call this empathy persuasion.
$21.
I don't suppose you'll allow me to keep this brief either.
Oh, not at all, darling. I think everyone deserves the full and unadulterated truth. We're all adults here, right?
Know your family. Specifically your father.
Which one?
I believe you call him uncle.
And your association with Fadeawin is what?
Inconsequential now.
Everything about him is of consequence. The reason Emir von Emmerich will know my name and know the sting of my sword is consequence of him. So please don't leave anything out.
He asked me to watch you.
You're deflecting. What was he to you?
Important.
And here I thought he never left Atra.
I didn't say he did.
I would have remembered your face. I do have a very good memory for them.
Do you?
I do. Unless you ensorcelled me.
To a child, Calamus? What do you take me for?
Heard what you do to the novices. Tete-a-tete isn't going to do us any favors here. Calamus will just open the door to the room. Let's at least have a drink and sit down with everyone before we continue.
I will have a drink. You are on a steady diet of dry, hot oats, I believe.
Water is still a drink, Aurelia.
You say so. She marches.
I
through the
wish I didn't. I'll head outside. Everyone, if we could all come inside for a moment, I believe there's something Aurelia needs to say.
It sounds
loudly
so
are you
serious. What, Ingrid?
How loud are you saying that? Ingrid is still like
I mean, if
a
he doesn't
distance to the
see,
side.
if he doesn't see everyone in immediate earshot of the cabin, he'll just holler.
We're
Ingrid,
supposed to be laying low.
do me a favor real quick. I just want you to roll a d10.
Does this explode? Does it explode? Does it matter?
Yeah,
10.
it certainly will.
18.
Fuck it. Everyone roll me an awareness roll. There's no real use of hiding this. We're gonna see if Ingrid's proclivity for stealth can persist. So you were rolling a stealth, Ingrid. I was trying to be cheeky about it, but there's no real way to do this.
Exactly.
Were you just looking at my sheet then?
I was.
Okay, so you already have my roll then?
24.
24.
Was it awareness? That
Yes,
we're rolling?
please.
Okay. 14.
I have a 14 from Relg. Cersei?
24.
Calamus?
13.
Ingrid?
Oh, I need an awareness. I thought you
No,
already did my
not
stealth.
awareness. What was the rolls you had in the dice?
So 18, so that's plus 4, 19, 20, 21, 22, plus dex, which
8
is
30.
8. Yeah.
So, true to the meme, Ingrid, you can hear this and then kind of make your way. Calamus, you holler, as it sounded like everyone was kind of shushing you. And then, Ingrid, you can emerge from the shadows near the door.
She's gonna emerge like whenever Calamus is like looking in one direction, she's just gonna like the direction is opposite, looking for her or anybody. She's gonna be, yes. What is?
Ingrid, there are not many gods I believe in, but I'm going to start cursing them all for the day that you learned how to be quiet.
I'm not very quiet. I'm pretty big. I'm also in armor. Is your hearing okay?
Wounded me so. Anyway, Aurelia
Um,
has something she needs to say, so we should all pack it in, as it were.
Inside?
That's
Yes.
nothing terribly serious. It's just a bit of new information that Calamus is uncomfortable with, that's all.
I think that is just the mood of the day right now.
We left you both alone for 20 minutes. What happened? Let's go inside.
There's not really a need for pomp and circumstance. I know she continues to walk as she tells this new bit of information. Everyone follows. Elodie is by your side, Cersei.
Ingrid will follow. Are we going inside right now? Or are we going? Are we walking around?
Oh, we're going
It's
inside.
just, it's just important to how Ingrid's gonna react. That's all.
I thought we were going inside
We'll go
to
inside.
sit down. Okay.
Okay, everyone's inside. Ingrid's gonna wait till everybody else is inside first.
Doesn't take too long.
And then, yeah, once everybody's inside, she hesitates for a moment, looking at the doorway, and then taking a breath, steps through the threshold. Those Witcher eyes of hers darting from corner to corner, almost trying to see. You know that moment when you have like a memory of something, and then you blink, and it, like if you're looking at the reality of it, and you blink, and it's kind of just like trying to assess what's kind of missing or what's not right or what's familiar about something. She's kind of just standing there in the open doorway, looking for like it's gonna be a minute. She's kind of just looking around. Can I use this as an opportunity to roll my awareness roll to see what's fucking stolen?
Yeah, well, let's wait till you actually get inside the house.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll it. Hold on to the number for me. Write it down if need be.
Okay.
But
She will then step inside and then close the door slowly. She's not going to make her way to the couch to where I assume everybody's gonna kind of like congregate around. She's gonna be kind of just off near one of the walls, within earshot. Of course, it's not that big. It's big, but it's not that big. Yeah.
you, well, as you enter, Aurelia doesn't take this with the pomp and circumstance that Calamus has presented it with. She continues on and just says, just a bit of shared history, that's all. I just know his father, that's really all there is to it.
Okay.
Oh, what happened?
Say again?
How? What happened?
Ingrid, do you have any fun Witcher tests to figure out if someone is who they say they are?
I could use Axie on Aurelia if she wishes to, if you need that, but I trust what she says.
In the midst of being hunted by creatures that can change their shape, someone calls me by my birth name.
I actually can't remember. Does Ingrid know that you're not really Calamus? I know you signed the book as Lloyd, but she hasn't gotten to that part of her journal yet.
I think, I don't recall if it's been mentioned before. Right. I do recall the name Lloyd being spoken a number
Yeah,
of
Rogue
times.
is called Calamus Lloyd a couple times.
I'm just gonna
But
say that
never
Ingrid and
explained.
just like everything that's gonna happen is Calamus not your name?
Is Dandelion his real name? No, we all have. Every bard has
It's
fake
not?
names.
What is
Oh,
Dandelion's real name?
I don't know.
I think we're getting off the subject.
Right.
Cersei, Aurelia has produced a wineskin and kind of just takes a sip and looks at you and just winks, mouthing the word.
I can't
yes
read
to you.
lips. Okay.
Yeah, mouthing the words what?
Yes, gear.
Cool. Make a mental note of that.
Just know he also goes by the Sandpiper.
All right.
Way
we're
to make a
getting-
traumatic homecoming hilarious for a second. Yeah.
What's the significance of Aurelia knowing your name?
That she could be a fucking vampire. Or
I'm looking at Aurelia. Does she have a shadow?
no offense, Elodie. No offense.
Just nods and says, "We sign these. She is human." Ingrid, difficult to tell in this place if she has a shadow because of the darkness.
Oh right, we haven't even turned
We
on.
should
Oh, turn.
light this,
My-
light some candles.
Just chilling in the dark.
My ass was about to say turn on the fireplace.
Yes.
Rel can go turn on the fireplace. He'll get on that.
Like starting the cart.
Yeah, Elodie says that she looks everything's human.
Do you need me to use axing? Aurelia, would that bother you?
Not at all, dear.
Ingrid's gonna shuffle, still kind of like hesitantly, getting closer. But when she's about, say, probably like a foot away, if even that, to Aurelia, she's gonna do the sign for Axie. And then she's gonna say, "Are you who you say you are, Aurelia?"
I want you to roll.
Mm-hmm.
Axie is used for persuasion. It's not a truth serum. So you need to persuade her. This is a roll, essentially, to persuade her to tell the truth here.
And I'm rolling my Axie, not
Correct.
Okay.
As we have learned.
I'm trying to. It's on the notes. It's on the common rules. I just have to search Axie. Axii. Axie for persuasion. Roll spell casting instead of persuasion, and the opponent rolls resist magic instead of resist coercion. Oh shit. Okay. Spell casting is plus 9 plus 5, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 22?
Apologies while I find my Aurelia.
You okay, Avery? You look deep in thought.
Thinking. Doing big thoughts. Big brain mode.
It looked like you were doing math.
I might have been.
What was the results of your roll?
22.
22.
It was 22, right? I'm not gaslighting myself.
Yeah, it was 22.
Excellent.
I should use my luck.
What was the question? What is the persuasion you'd like to use, Ingrid?
Are you who you say you are, Aurelia?
Can you do me a huge favor and just, for me, phrase it in a way that would be more persuasive? Something. So you're asking for a question. It's not really a persuasion deal. You know what I mean?
You're being way more anal with this than you were when we were questioning Warren.
There's a reason for that.
Oh. Fuck. So how do I good at the written word, not the spoken word. Aurelia, do you have any reason to lie to us about who you are?
Of course not.
I'd like to roll a human perception here.
By all means.
Overexert Axie next time.
Everyone may feel free to make this roll if they so choose.
Oh, yes, of course.
Yeah, let's do some human perception. Holy shit, okay. Alright, alright.
25, good sir.
28.
One.
And
25,
the
20.
attribute is intelligence, right? Or
Yes,
empathy?
yes.
Empathy.
Empathy.
It's empathy.
27.
Ingrid's got pretty.
25,
Ooh.
27, and 22?
I got 28.
28. Jesus Christ.
I rolled 35.
Y'all are untrusting as fuck.
Yes, it's comes
no,
with the
really.
profession.
I'm not untrusting. You just told me to roll. Has nothing to do with that.
Breaking this for a second, out of character. Shout out to Cersei for building Aurelia with 0 deceit. She's lying. She's not lying necessarily about who she says she is, but she does have reason to lie to you. All of you pick up on this. She's
Fuck.
shifting uncomfortably. She's giving a lot of signs that she's deflecting. She's trying to be more casual. The whine, the wink, it's too much. It's too showy, flamboyant.
Ingrid's gonna get a little closer. Ingrid is like now on top of her pretty much almost. And I would like to cast Axie again on her.
You may.
I'm gonna use all 8 points of my luck.
Okay.
Can I group ask really quick? What do you think I should how should I word this, y'all?
Yeah, by all means, hive mind this shit. It's a persuasion roll.
You've gone beyond my depth.
I would
I have an
advise.
idea. I have an idea. Huh?
Go on, Thurston.
How I would word it, unless you have a better idea, is can you tell us the whole truth?
I like it.
Actually,
I like where the
that's-
mindset is, but the wording I would just alter just a bit. Don't word it as a question.
Actually,
Not can I. Go on.
Will you?
You will.
You will. Oh.
I'm gonna need you to be honest with us.
let me say what I'm gonna say really quick, please.
Go for it. Go
I'm
for it.
gonna
Chomp
because
at the bit.
well, yes, because it's like I put my trust in you. I've drunk wine with you. I've been vulnerable around you. Tell me who you are.
It's the result of your roll.
I'm about to do it. So that's 8 plus 5 plus 7, 8, 10, 13, 14, 15, 20 plus. Explodes. That's 30 plus 5. So that's 35, baby.
The white ring forms around her head. Again, she says, Leah. Fuck mage if I.
Tell me why you would lie to me. Us.
I need to check Axie real quick.
That
I need
was.
to know if it's just.
We had 3
for-
questions. We had 3 questions last time per.
Yes. I need to check if it's
I
gonna
gave
be
you
the
2
one
rolls.
or if it is. Yes, and the first one didn't help you. Okay. I'm gonna say this is good for the one. It's a simple roll of spellcasting instead of persuasion, so I'm gonna call it 1 for 1.
Okay.
You can feel free to roll again if you'd like.
Fuck. I used all my luck on the last one too. Fucking.
You are also expending stamina. Keep track of that.
Yep, I am. Yep.
She is sitting there studying Aurelia with not a wounded look, but
23.
confused.
The ring takes her crown once more, Ingrid. She speaks and she says, there are some things you're just not ready. And certain things that are just not for you.
I'm going to quickly have Ingrid look to Calamus, Relg, and Cersei in an almost, do I do it again? Do I press further kind of look. Ingrid's going to step back.
You
She's not
know,
going to say anything more right now.
I've heard that before, Aurelia. From someone who was doing some really bad things. And I do appreciate that you helped us. If there's something going on, we need to know.
Promise you something that you need to know.
Can I use telepathy with her?
By all means.
Does it have to do with the lodge?
Firstly, expend the stamina. Secondly, give me a persuasion roll.
What's your persuasion at?
5.
It's going to be great.
Wait, hold on. 5 plus 9
14.
plus 8. 22.
Seriously, there are things. There's nothing to do with the launch.
Didn't know if that's why you were being cagey.
He speaks verbally now. Does this mean I've overstayed my welcome?
In dire situations like this, there needs to be trust. As much trust as there can be. I'll admit mine's a little shaken, knowing that there is stuff you would not say in this moment, given everything, but you're not unwelcome here.
So you asked me in the bathhouse in Bruges if I had any previous interactions with mages. This is the fucking reason I don't. You're the only honest mage I've ever met in my life.
Aurelia,
It's a den of vipers and crones who twist and manipulate to their own advantage and never for the good of the common man. Lies get people killed, Aurelia. And Calamus will head outside.
point of note. First mark of your sentence. Or first mark of your statement here. Aurelia visibly rolls her eyes. Doesn't try to hide it. Everyone can see this. It's just a detail I feel you all should know. As master of the house, Ingrid of Sintra, I appreciate your welcome. I would hate to cause any discourse amongst you. I believe I'll take my...
I understand. Thank you for your help again. And she is she is going to move up to Aurelia and just hug her.
She tenses.
Same squeezing hug.
Cersei will get up and kind of walk over to her. Thank you for everything.
You always call me child.
Likewise.
I am sorry for using it.
She looks to you, Relg, and says, I'm sorry.
What are you apologizing for, exactly? Really?
I know how much it means to you.
Yeah, which is why I'm a little concerned.
Love is
What are you
tricky
doing?
business. Wound one, wound the other.
You're Rhonda's uncle, though. That's what you said. Or father.
Uncle, father.
Don't worry about it right now, Ingrid. So. Why?
Why, what?
Why do you know so much about Cal? I'm just curious. It makes me uncomfortable when they just know a little bit too much about people I care about.
Mother was dear to me. That's all. Everyone may feel full human exception.
You know I'm gonna take it up on you. You take it up on offer.
Okay, the trick to rolling is to have it be about something not pertaining to the plot, maybe.
Mm.
Okay.
Human perception. So that's thank God I raised my human perception.
19 plus 6 is 25.
Wait.
29.
23.
24.
Almas, how far are you?
Calamus has gone back out to the cart, and he's like, if Pretty Good wasn't unhitched, he would get Pretty Good unhitched and comfortable and move to a spot out of visibility, and then he would take some tarps out of the cart and get the cart covered, and then start covering that with like leaves and branches and things, just so that it blends a little better.
As a point of note for you, there's a stable out in the back. It's very small. It's only meant for about 1 to 2 horses, but there is one it's probably in massive disrepair too, obviously, but like there's a stable back there.
You go to the emotional support horse.
Yeah,
The
then
emotional support horse is the most important character.
I think it stands to note then that like seeing the stable in disrepair, I definitely think a part of Calamus's brain goes back to his childhood when the first like chores that he could get outside the house were taking care of the horses. And he just begins to fully remove what is probably the worst smelling miasma of molding hay and leaf nastiness.
Yeah, it's probably bad. It's been 8 years.
8 years, I think,
oh,
is compost at this point, and that's open compost.
I know how bad it gets after 3 days. I don't want to think about 8 years.
I do want it to be noted that I did say in the Witcher IC chat that the smell that's permeating around this place is outside of the normal foliage, like old wood, leathers, and furs and mold and all that jazz.
So just getting the space ready for Pretty Good to spend the night here for maybe a few nights. So he's not super uncomfortable.
Ingrid, Rilg, Cersei. She's lying.
Really, please.
With the difference in her roles compared to all of yours, it's difficult to say if she even really knows Lloyd's father.
Do you want me to trust you?
I mean this with the utmost respect and love that I could possibly give. Don't care one way or the other. Everything I do, I do with good reason.
In this particular moment, Ingrid is just going to look to Cersei. Because this is her teacher, her mentor.
I trust you. And I believe you. When you say it's for good reason. And I have a feeling that nothing's going to come further is going to come from this. But I understand, well, I could see why Ralg is concerned.
Rogue is just staring.
And Ralg is a friend who did something for me. So he's important to me.
Persuasion roll, Cersei.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Mouse hears that there's things going on, so he's throwing a fit.
Yeah, Mouse says, I'm sorry, did you say Relg is upset? I'll fucking kill you.
20.
Aw, Mouse is a good boy.
He's the
You got muted?
he's the best hellhound to ever exist.
I did see the blurred Kubrick stare for a second.
Oh yeah, there's much Cubic staring going on. And huffing.
It's all of you. Lord has been watched for some time.
Now, is it you who's watching Lloyd, or is it someone else? Is it someone from Artusa? Is it someone?
It doesn't matter.
Oh, it matters to me. Really, it really matters to me. Because if it's you who's supposed to watch him, out of what the kindness of your heart of our own man, you might not know. Cersei says she trusts you. That makes it a little better.
Ingrid's hand twitches. She wants to cast Axie so bad right now.
What love you bear him. Barely know him. How long have you been with him? A year, 2? Number of months?
Was that a question I was supposed to answer? Mom, or
Your answer is inconsequential. In the grand scheme of how long I've watched over that boy, the time you've been together is nothing. You fear my eyes,
I fear your intent.
If I had once something done to I had over 20 years.
He did. He had 20 years to do something, but sometimes things take longer. So do you watch out of what? A promise? Or is it because I actually care? Really, that makes a difference.
Ask him what he remembers of Mousak. I hope to meet you all again under better circumstances. I wish you all the best. However, no ill will. Be safe. And in a flurry, small, almost dust devil of cyan, sparkle, and bit snow, he's gone.
That was a lot.
Like Rogue's whole body is tense, and he's remembering things about dealing with other people.
Do you need a hug?
No.
Okay.
Like the last thing. Yeah.
Sorry, I am not good at that sort of thing.
Go see what needs to be done around the house.
Cersei's like uncomfortably fidgeting with her hair and like looks like she's thinking.
Or sorry, are you alright, Cersei? I didn't.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm. If I didn't.
Just a brief note, Cersei, as you fidget with you. Now that you kind of realize that you're twirling with one hand, as Elodie is at your side, holding.
Wow.
Cersei, if you wish to have a moment with Elodie, she's not. Ingrid has not looked at Elodie yet. Behind you, that is my old room. You and her are free to it.
Well, thank you, Ingrid. I was just going to say that if I didn't know her, I would be far more concerned, and yet I feel like I don't really know her.
Do you trust that she has her reasons?
I do.
Are you concerned what those reasons might be?
I'm concerned as to why she wouldn't say what her reasons.
It bothered me too. Especially after everything that happened at Aretusa.
Yeah.
What happened to Aretusa?
They gave us safe haven. They gave us hospitality after Vizima fell. And we just spent time.
I also had this happen to me. She's just pointing to herself.
That
Which
wasn't the mages. Well, there was one mage, but it
Mhm.
was Ingrid's idea.
this is what we call a mutagen after effect, side effect. My skin, you see how do you see the muscles moving a little bit under the skin here?
Oh no, I can see it. You don't have to get that.
I used to not look like this, but that happened at R2, so I should probably mention that. Yes.
That was Istrid.
Yes, that is a Witcher thing. It is possible for this to happen to Calamus as well, considering that he wants me to make him a mutagen out of what we found from the Bone Man. I'm not sure what that one's gonna do to him, though.
I want to, out of character, remind everyone, you guys have had this discussion before. Let's flash back to Calamus asking, would you love me if I was ugly? Would you love me if I was a worm?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, to be perfectly fair, this is definitely an Ingrid thing to repeat because she was asked what happened at Aratuza.
Just like fucking mages, just in his brain, there's just screaming.
I pointed out because it wasn't said here that was willingly, but it was said in the previous conversation that was a willing transformation. I just want to point out that that
Yeah.
this was
Yeah,
willing.
It was said here.
I said it was
Mm,
Ingrid's
okay.
idea.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah, no,
my idea.
no.
I
Yeah.
wanted to do it because we had a higher vampire mutagen, and I wanted to see what it would do to me.
I missed that. I just didn't want. I wanted to make sure Rog wasn't just like.
Right.
Though that would be funny.
Rogues. Yeah, you dig that hole. Right, yeah, no. Mages making witchers. More witchery.
Mages only activate or play a part in the witchering. It's also knowledge, experience, actual witcher training, and
Ingrid, it's not. It was rhetorical.
Oh,
I
thank you,
I
Christian.
apologize.
I appreciate your input. I don't do magic. I can't. I can't. I'm gonna go build a fence and just.
There might be some wood left over in the back. Oh wait,
What
no, it's
time of
Adrian's.
day is it?
This is cresting into the evening now.
Okay.
Especially with the conversation at this point, the sun is over the hill. It's that orange sky. It's getting dark. Oh, actually, I'm so sorry. I think I have my timeline off. It would be near sunset, not dark at all. Outside, interior, dark as fuck. Exterior, sun's still kind of cresting downward.
Storyteller, I have a question for you, even though it's probably not bad, and I don't know how wood ages very well, but Ingrid would have had one of those little, those little collection things for next to fireplaces where you keep spare firewood. What's currently sitting there?
Nothing.
Oh.
Probably
Okay.
got used already.
I will go fetch some firewood so we can get a fire going in this. As I said, Cersei, if you wish to settle Elodie in, still not looking. The room is right behind you.
Well, Ingrid, don't you want to sleep in your room tonight?
No, thank you.
Okay.
And Ingrid is going to smile. It's at that moment she tries to look to Elodie for a quick second, and her eyes just immediately dart back down, and she shuffles out.
Cersei stands there with Elodie and looks to her and says, this is not how I intended your homecoming to be.
To be fair, it's not oncoming.
Well, thanks, but yes.
Telling for
I do. And I care about them. I agree. I don't know if that should be me.
I mean, Ingrid's going that way to get wood, so.
I'll speak.
Are you sure you can settle in?
By all rights, he it's not. Sometimes be easier to give things to a stranger.
Say thanks back to Regis. Yeah. You're right.
This is your for.
Never again.
Steps outside. She braces her fingers along yours, waiting to the last possible skin. Out she steps. Before we get to her, let's visit Calamus, Ralg, and Ingrid. Well, let's visit all of you, really. Let's go around this quick room right quick. Start with you, Calamus. You're outside with the therapy horse, clearing away the most vile shit you've ever smelled.
I saw you doing the shoveling moves.
How are you doing?
I think it's a part of the human nature that when we get to a certain point of uncomfortability, we default to tasks that bring us back to our youth. And that's kind of very much the headspace that Calamus is in. He's kind of like checked out, left everything still sitting on the mental table, so to speak. But he's remembering when he and Wilhane, who he just saw on the road, the young soldier, would be cracking jokes back and forth about the horsemaster's daughter and how it seems that Wilhane got the last laugh because he married her. And
He always said he was going to.
not often that Calamus admits defeat in the pursuit of a lover, but he's happy to admit defeat in this one. And he's just focused on that. And just, I think he's just sort of like haphazardly just talking to Pretty Good. It's just like, you know, you're a good horse. I really think, like, I like the name Pretty Good, but I think when it's just the two of us, I'd love to call you Excellent if you would be okay with that. Because you've, like, bailed us out of so much shit, Pretty Good. I'm just gonna be really, really real with you right now. You've gotten us out of so many hairy situations, just, like, by the grace of your four hooves, and I am... Wow. It's honestly unreal.
I see your fingers raised, Cersei.
I just love the image of Elodie coming around the corner and seeing Calamus in a full conversation.
Oh, trust me,
Pretty
we'll
Good.
get to that.
Perfect.
I do want it to be remembered, please, that the joke was that Ingrid's original horse was amazing and Aaron's was excellent.
You told me that,
Oh.
not Avery.
Fuck.
I find it hilarious.
Okay, yay.
Fuck your
That's gonna be
trauma.
crying.
Thank you, Calamus. Surprisingly, Pretty Good is not much of a conversationalist, but he's a great listener. Only really offers a sort of snort or two in reply. Cersei, how are you feeling?
Cersei is thinking back to like replaying the conversation in her head and everything she picked up on, and kind of fidgeting, and she like doesn't like the like secret keeping, but then she feels kind of guilty in a way because she's keeping a secret about the
An
lodge.
intelligence deduction roll, Cersei. You ponder your own. You ponder everything that's happened as you ponder your own secret. Intelligence deduction, please.
That's not great. That's 13?
Not terrible though.
To be fair, when we've been rolling like 20s and 25s and 30s and stuff like that, it does feel a little lower.
Unlike Calamus, you know Aurelia's great deeds. People she shakes hands with, the nations she crosses with no fear, the things she's done, you know, a brief snippet of her history even. The only thing you don't really know, and it remains a mystery to you, is how old she is. Because, as she's always said, a true lady never tells.
Right.
But you know that she's not easily silenced. And the lodge is a secret you share. She wouldn't reveal it to anybody under pain of death. You think it might take an organization of equal or greater standing and importance to her that would keep her silent on this matter. Now, unfortunately, that's all a 13 gives you. Feel free to ponder that as you like.
Okay. Thank you. Great.
Ingrid, how are you feeling?
Is my axe still here? Is there any axe still here?
Well, we had you roll an awareness roll prior to all of this. What is the result of your roll?
It was... Fuck, was it 28 for the original awareness roll that I rolled here? I think it was like 22 or 28. Fuck, I'm gonna have to roll again, aren't I?
Write
Fuck.
these things down.
God damn it. You know what? You're right. I'm just gonna reroll again. Ah. That's 21.
21. As you're moving things in and out, as you reignite some of the wall sconces, provide light, open some of the windows, there are things missing. Books, important things, rather. Maybe not important things, but things that could be sold, used. Certain books are gone, but thieves don't really have a whole for a great deal of your tomes. The axe you refer to, this is the one that was used to cut wood.
Yeah, it's just a standard, typical, non-important woodcutters.
Gone. It's a tool, and tools are valuable. Ingrid, it's a great number of these things are gone. Anything can be used as a tool, things that can be sold. Remarkably, the one thing that remains that is likely the most valuable is the shield, crest of Sintra. And it remains clean as it could be. There is a great deal of dust in the rest of this place. As a lighter coat has been touched. The seal itself, where the lion sits, is worn over time by people's fingers. Visitors, squatters, thieves, some here have touched, not taken.
I was just gonna go outside and chop some wood. Now, Ingrid, probably frustrated from the axe being gone and realizing that she's probably gonna have to pick up pretty much brushwood, for the fireplace, kind of just then looks up at the fireplace where the shield is, and wait, Cersei, you'd still be in the room then when that note I noticed that. Ingrid Thousand Yard stares at it, and she's there for like she's doing that for like a solid like 3 minutes at the very least. In her mind, it's a cacophony of voices, memories, sensory, both sensory and visual, smelling the fire, the blood, hearing the clashing steel, the bodies in the streets. And she reaches a hand into a pouch where she kept the mage grass, and there is none left.
The day, the evening, Ingrid, there is no peace. You must face your history, your memories, without aid.
Ingrid starts hyperventilating, and then her sword arm starts shaking. She goes to grab it, and then, without saying another word, she's going to just dart out the door. She's going off for clear air. And she's gonna, like, doing that now, her mind is, like, it was tunnel vision at that point. She, like, if you were there, Cersei, watching this, she didn't see you. You or Elodie, she just pushed her way right out that door, and is not even gonna bother closing it. She's going into the trees there. Like, she's not gonna go far, but she's just getting out. And storyteller, for your information, she is going to do her best to. She's gonna try to ground as best as she can, try to get herself out of that, but she's just picking up wood. Doesn't matter what size, whatever, like, she's just gonna try to collect wood.
Understood. Relg, how are you feeling?
Fucking mages. That's all that's going on through, like, with the nightmares and with what we're dealing with. Renwick. The fact that he almost didn't make it through that fight. Lloyd might be in danger now, or there's some sort of plan around it, or the fact that, like, it's everything. It's everything that's just, like, a constant stream as he's going around the front of the house being like, what could we use to build a makeshift fence for the horse because he didn't go around back?
Excellent.
Like, so upset he doesn't even notice Pretty Good is missing from the cart. There's just a lump of brush over there now. It's all, he's very much in his head. And angry and sad.
Our heroes together, but divided, lost in your own minds, your own thoughts, thinking about your own tasks. It's here we'll take a break. We will see you all very shortly for the remainder of this episode. We'll see you all very, very soon. Hello, noises outside make me paranoid, so then we go outside with fisticuffs ready on our minds, and there's nothing there, so then you get kind of sad. But we're fine now. But, pick up right where we left off. Calamus, an individual is stumbling upon you now, as you are muttering to Pretty Good.
Yeah, Cal will sit down the pitchfork that they've been mucking this thing out with and just turn around.
Now you can be able to speak. Taste it.
I grew up mucking out horse stables. I won't say you get used to it, but between working in an alchemy shop and mucking out horse stables, the tolerance for foul smells becomes a little easier.
But no, should praise you or apologize.
Yes. I'm always willing to accept praise. Well,
Would you like some help?
oh, no, I'm about done with this, actually. It was just something to occupy the mind for a moment. I think we're about ready to fill in and get Pretty Good rested down for the evening. She deserves it. She's worked very hard. In fact, other than the emotional tax that all of this is done on Cersei and the physical tax that Ingrid has put herself in, I would say that Pretty Good has done the most work out of Pretty Good Relk and I.
He's a good horse.
Good horse.
I wanted
Are you well?
to ask you the same.
I will be. But this business with Aurelia is concerning, but I said it multiple times, and I'm sure I'll say it until the day I die. Cersei is an exceptional sorceress. And Ingrid is perhaps the most ferocious warrior I've ever met. And Relg has a keen eye for opportunity and strategy, and I have an eye for people.
Positive qualities of your friend whenever you are asked how you are doing.
I do, it makes it easier not to talk about myself. I'm worried, but I'll be alright, I think. I'm much more worried about my kid brother. He's our father's son. I think he's making a horrible decision.
I heard.
My father was killed by Nilfgaard when they took Atra. He doesn't know that Phaedwin was our father. And I spent enough of my time hating myself. I don't want to see that happen to him when he finally puts all the pieces together.
Tell me about you. Takes the pitchfork. Continues what little work you have left here. You are free to take a stool up, lounge, however you'd like. She works.
Well, the man who raised us, his name is Michel. And he and I have never been close, but I don't think that's because he knows that his wife was sleeping with his brother. My mother's a good woman. She just never had the courage to break Michel's heart. Tell him that she'd loved Phaedwin. And by the time she had worked up the courage, it was too late, and he was dead. My eldest sister, Sarah. She and I are quite close. We write letters often. My second eldest sister, Marina, has always been cold. I think she would have made a good mage. She keeps her distance. She assesses, plans, and executes. The oldest of the boys, my brother Aedric, the last of the only son that Michel has. He's a promising alchemist. I think when my father retires, my brother will take over. He's always resented me for leaving. Been jealous that I found fame as a bard. But all that is just to distract him from his own sadness that he'll never leave the village that he was born in. My sister Tareen, we had an incident as children. There will never be love lost between us on her behalf. I think if I were to catch a dagger to the ribs tomorrow, she would celebrate. My younger sister, Minthy, she asks the deep questions every time I come home, but I think she asks them out of envy instead of a real caring for me. And Yoren, I failed the most. I told him if I were ever going to leave, that I would take him with me. And I didn't.
You think so?
failed him. Think so? The worst bit of it all is that my eldest sister and I are the only two that know that Minthy, Yoren, and I are Fadowin's children, and not Michelle's. It's been a secret hanging over our family for far too long.
Will you tell them when you visit?
I'll at least tell Yoren. I don't know what it would do to my father. He's nearly 70. Maybe just the thing to give him a heart attack, and then Nilfgaard would have robbed me of both of my fathers.
Interesting, but
Have you met Dandelion? He is far more interesting than I am.
superficial for my taste. But you are a conflict. Can you speak in the words that Nilfgaard robbing of your fathers? You tell such strange stories when you acknowledge that you brought your own with you. Do you not hear his story? All of them?
I've been working on writing my story. But I don't think my story is for me to tell.
Very rarely.
Hope in 100 years or so, you and Cersei might reflect over that story over a glass of wine. That Ingrid will tell the young bears that will come in time. And I hope that Relg and I will find some place quiet where we can spend the rest of our days. And if this witchering business does end up killing me, I hope at least for Relg he can find a quiet hillside to bury me on, and we can sit with the sunset forever.
Do you have faith, Calamus?
Have faith in the actions of everyday people. Have faith in the simple gestures of love and companionship. I also have faith in the grand gestures of storming the dungeons of an ancient Witcher keep to save someone. That, to be very honest, the insights that I have learned from Cersei and Ingrid have saved my life. Believe in people and the love we share, nothing else.
Interesting, but faith in gods when they are perhaps the greatest story is ever told.
Every story about a god is really just a story about a man or woman with too much power who abused it and now doesn't care about us anymore. We save each other. Love saves us.
These are concepts and stories. Don't mean they're not real. You believe in love. Stories. Stories. Feel every song. Whisper that were spoken. All of them true.
The truth doesn't really matter, it's just the story that gets told.
Wait.
This one day, hope that I will be a witcher. With that, I will live long enough to give the man that I love the life he always deserved. And that my sword will be the one that swipes the white flame from this world. The northern kingdoms may not be filled with saints. This whole world is vile. But the love we share is not. The amount of love that is crushed in the shadow of the white flame cannot be abided by.
Gun. See the climax.
Regis said something, and I'm hoping you could enlighten me. Something I've been loath to ask Ingrid yet because I don't want to embarrass myself. The Wild Hunt real? I mean, I know the stories, everyone knows the stories, but are they real?
You listening? The story is real. The White Riders. And even the last time, single sentence.
They'll weaken the northern kingdoms enough that Nilfgaard will be able to take the northern kingdoms without contest.
It will weaken all kingdoms. Unites the north. Others.
Sintra will never reunite with Nilfgaard. I need to speak with Ingrid. I don't mean to leave you. Thank you for this. It's given me clarity of perspective.
Smiles. Continue your stealth, Calamus echoes.
I'm glad the two of you found each other. And Calamus will head off looking for Ingrid.
We rewind the clock. We'll rejoin you, Calamus, as you find Ingrid. Time being, Ingrid, you're alone. Gathering wood.
He's not doing really well. He's got some probably brushwood in her hands, but it's getting bad. She's held it off for a while now, but the supply that she got, with that being gone, not having what she used as a crutch a little bit, it's no longer just Sintra that she's seeing. It's hitting home that she was in Heron Kaduk, even if it was for 10 to 15 minutes to get in and out. That she ran again from Renwick, that she failed again, even though she succeeded in what she set out to do there. Nyoka's words are still hitting her. You could have stayed. You could have done more. You could have killed him there. You could have maimed him. You are stronger than what you've given out. And it's not just Nyoka that she's seeing with that. She's seeing images of her dream with the Witcher version of Calamus. She's seeing Aaron between the trees. She's seeing Renwick. And she's going to drop the wood and the vision of Renwick that she sees in front of her, she's going to punch, and it's going to be a tree. And she's going to let out a scream. Not a pained scream. Not the same. One of defeat, one of anguish. And she's not going to care in that moment that it's not actually Renwick. And she's going to keep punching until her fists are bloody.
Ingrid, we've established that you travel with your armor. You haven't exactly had time to take off. Punch. Indents because of the gauntlets. Force.
Yep.
One by one. Indent is left, splintering the wood. The metal gives. Becomes crooked. Bent. Feel it digging into the padding. Bruising your knuckles little by little. The pain shoots the tip of the knuckle down to the wrist, up the arm, each impact echoing and reverberating up to the elbow.
And she can't take it anymore. She's going to stop punching and kind of press her back against the tree and let herself slide down. cursing the fact that she can't even cry properly. And just going fetal in that moment. And just whispering over and over again, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
Ingrid, I want you to roll me a d10.
Two.
Thank you. Silence is probably the least comfort. Apologize, and there's no one to forgive. There's no one to condemn you. It's just limbo. Alone.
He doesn't want the others to see her like this.
You make an attempt to right yourself.
From my fetal position against a tree? Not yet. She's trying to write it out now.
You said. Recall, though. That's where you eventually you're found. Callum, as you say, Ingrid. Beetle. Collapsed by a tree. That is a heavy indented. It is not near toppling, but that is a wound that nature take time to heal.
It's now a good time.
Not responding. She's not looking at you either. She's looking at the ground.
Ingrid. It's now a good time.
No. No, now's not a good time. If you're going to listen to anything that I say, please let it just be this. Not now.
I'll wait. No one deserves to be alone.
Sit in silence. Pass it.
Going to get dark soon.
Oh, you're not leaving her alone?
Just sits down. He'll let many, many minutes by before he says what he said. Just content to sit in silence for a while.
I didn't want any of you to see me like this.
What are you trying to hide?
Don't we all have our secrets, have our things we don't like talking about?
I think there are things that are uncomfortable, but I don't think uncomfortable is bad all the time. I think there's a certain part of us that may be the truest part of us that only comes out when we're uncomfortable. When it's a good time, we have time to put up walls, build masks. I have time to become calamus acres.
And what am I? Calamus Acarus.
I can't answer that question for you, Ingrid, as much as I would love to. If I had the answer to give, nothing would please me more than to give it freely and without expectation. But you are the only person who knows who you are. And I know survival has dictated in your life quite a bit of running. And I understand that. I killed a man in an alley in Redania as a 16-year-old boy. I was drunk. He said something untoward. I'm not even sure if he was trying to rob me or was just trying to make conversation, and I ran him through. I can't run from that. I mean, I physically ran from that. You can physically run from anything you want. You can spend the rest of your life running if you want. And no, anyone who attempts to judge you for that is kidding yourself, because we just have different ways of running. You've chosen the road and the path and the places where you lay your head to be the thing that you run with. Other people choose wine. Other people choose power to run away from who they are. Other people choose anonymity. They just fade away. Everyone is running from themselves. And I don't... I'm trying to do it less. And I think you should too. I care for you. I know we've only known each other for a few short weeks, but you are a ferocious friend. You are a stalwart, broken heart that, in spite of its brokenness, it carries on with each beat and pump and bleeds, not out of its own pain, but in defiance of the pain that would seek to hold it still.
I appreciate what you're trying to do here, Calamus. I do.
What am I trying to do, Ingrid?
Calm me down.
That was not my intention at all. I don't want you calm. I want you to turn around. And maybe that's a selfish want of me. But if it is selfish, it is only selfish insofar as I want you to confront what is
Calamus,
chasing
if I
you.
didn't turn around, I would still be in Heron Kaduk. I would have faced Renwick down and I would have tried to kill him. But I ran again. I ran again.
We
And
all
I
did.
let the man who took everything from me live another day.
Feels good to say it out loud.
And because I ran, I am still alive. And I can't even cry for that. I can feel anger. I can feel hate. I can feel sorrow, but I can't. I don't even know if any of this is even real anymore. I don't know who I am or who I want to be anymore. Am I Ingrid of Sintra? Witcher? Who am I?
You didn't. That was turning around. I know that I have certain propensity for flippant speech. But speaking what lives in our flesh and bone is the greatest power. It is more powerful than any mutagen. It is more powerful than any sorcery, any prayer from a priest, any knife in the dark. Admitting our weakness is where the true seed of strength grows. We cannot have one without the other.
Then where lies yours? One so young as yourself.
Where lies my weakness? It's an interesting question. My weakness will always be that I will betray myself. I make a lot of promises. I say a lot of things. I left home when I was 14. And I promised Yoren that I would take him with me. And I didn't. Promised Relg that I would be safe. When we went through that portal and I saw Aurelia in danger, and I acted. I saw that Bruxa charge right into Cersei in Bruges after I promised Relg that I would be safe. And I ran towards it. My greatest weakness is that I want to be a bard. I want to be someone who tells funny stories and funny jokes and makes people laugh. But I am the son of the Iron Lion of Atra.
Does that name ring a bell
War.
to me, storyteller?
I thought I need to roll.
Okay. What is it?
Roll me education, please.
Oh, my 0. Okay. $16.
Say you know the tip of the iceberg, the story. Calamus, if you'd like to exposit what a 16 would give. It's a tentative thing. It's not really. It's a legend. It's the myth.
Yeah. The Iron Lion of Atra was Knight Commander Faedowin Bowen. He was a force to be reckoned with both on the battlefield and at the diplomat's table. He was a warrior who had fought nearly triple-digit battles in his short lifetime. Comparatively, he was in his early 50s when he died. And he died during the sacking of Atra. It's said that he took 150 Black Knights with him.
This is what you know.
That is a lofty heritage to have. My sympathies.
Calamus will pull the broken sword that he's been toting around with them the whole time. This is the sword that slew Faedowin Bowen. And I carry it with me every day. Because one day, I will let loose the lifeblood from Emir von Emrys with this blade.
Oh god, it's in that moment that Ingrid sees herself in Calamus, and she's going to look at him dead in the eyes. There's no tears there for her, though there's no tears, but her expression says that there would be otherwise. And she's going to point to herself, and she's going to say, "This is what a lifetime of battles, regret, and revenge will get you. Please, for you and for Relg, just be a bard."
Miss will put his hand on Ingrid's shoulder, sort of gently trace a circle with his thumb. It's always been my problem. I told you. It's my weakness. I will always betray myself. I have a wood-cutting axe in the cart. It's gonna get cold tonight.
Do we actually have a wood-cutting axe in the cart?
It's in Calamus's gear.
Oh. You know what? That would have been the first place I should have looked. Oh well.
Calamus is
Emotions
strong.
do weird things to our decision-making process.
Because what I initially had intended was for her to go full God of War Kratos on a tree.
Well, two of you share this. Retrieve the axe. But our vision does not follow this moment. Find a humble thief. Relg, what are you up to right now?
Rogue was going around trying to find some sort of like small fallen trees that they could maybe use to make a fence. Probably ended up circling around after Elodie and Calamus had their conversation, seeing that they don't need to make a fence for the horses. Or horse. And was trying to find pieces to take and fix up the house. Kind of stabilize it more.
I think, Relg, should you need it, aside from Calamus himself, you might know that there's an axe in his gear.
Yeah. Yeah. So probably would have grabbed that when took down a few small trees, kind of started cleaning them up. Put some more boards in, make sure that we have a way to stabilize the door tonight.
Understood. You said about building milk. A strange thing past few days. Gone from thief to prospector to builder. You do this. Do this. Last visited you and we had your thoughts on the whole endeavor with Aurelia. It's not something that fades quickly, right? Ages. Ever known a good one?
I think that's the thought that keeps going through his head. Just like, they're all like this. Why are they all like this? Why is Cersei not like this?
Let's ponder together. She? I want you to roll deduction.
It's a 0, because it doesn't involve killing someone. So it's intelligence and deduction?
Yes, please.
That's a 12.
Let's piece some things together that you know about Cersei Aveline. Found her and Ingrid by chance. City where you and Calamus had lost things. Delayed. If you hadn't lost these things, you might not have met Cersei and Ingrid. Where would you have gone? What would you have done?
Thinking about that, how it would have been getting their lost items, booking it. If they hadn't been able to track down those items, still having to book it because it would have been taking up another contract, another life, so they could keep living theirs. They would have headed up north. What's been going on? Trading in death would be a lot easier up there. And now he's here. Building, making something rather than destroying it.
Through chance, you've been put on a path that has made you monster slayer. Savior. Hero. Through luck, fate, destiny. Here you are, building something. Cersei Aveline. Ingrid of Sintra. When your paths crossed, a strain convenience happened. 12 with your deduction roll. Is she like that? Give you no answer. I leave you to ponder. Everything you've seen, the path that you were on versus the path you are on now, will pose a question. Fate or chaos? Ponder. And you build. Magic. Magic. Something that you think about. You remember the ritual, Belg? You even know what it was supposed to do to you.
One of the things that Relg thinks about a lot is he has no idea what it would have done to him.
Seen fire, persuasion, distractions, words. You had no magic to face her, Belg. Now you do. Whatever steps come next on this strange path, now you can equal her. And even if they don't stand with you, you can at least bring her down to your level. It was always so far up on that high horse. The meridium is in your grasp now. What do you think comes next, Relg? After Renwick, should you survive?
We hunt monsters. That's what we do now. And he's never met anyone more monstrous.
If anything, Relg, this new path you've chosen, perhaps it's been thrust upon you. You don't just hunt monsters, you kill them. But for now, build. Cersei. What are you doing? Melody has gone off to speak with Calamus.
Cersei will continue. She's been thinking about everything that had happened this whole time, or while she was alone, and she thinks about how she was thinking about talking to Relg about his issues with magic, and now this probably doesn't help anything, which has happened.
It's difficult.
And
Please go on.
no, and she's wanting to be near Elodie, but also understanding why she, went to talk to Calamus, because Cersei would have done it herself if she wasn't, a mage. So she looks around and takes stock of what's in the room. And goes outside, steps outside, and looks around. Does she see anybody?
See Relg. Building. Patching walls as best he can. It's rudimentary, but it'll help.
Cersei will timidly approach and, fidgeting with her hands, say, I feel like this is going to take a while.
Rogue's gonna stop and turn towards Cersei. For a bit of time, yeah. I think. I don't know. I've never really built anything before.
Have I? I don't think I'd be very good at that.
Why? Why are mages like that, Cersei?
Because when you're groomed to be the pawn of a king or a queen, you have to have some kind of edge to you. But now, things are changing. At this point, I don't think they know anything else.
I just don't get it. All the power at your fingertips and the things that get done with it, Cersei.
Yes. I never understood it. I wasn't very popular in school. If that says anything.
More of a social thing.
More just not understanding my peers. I wish I had the answer for you. I have my theories. Just know I want it to be different.
So you just try to be better. That's all it would take. That's all this. Not downplaying your effort. I've just never had any good luck with mages.
I'm finding that to be a common sentiment. It's funny, I wasn't always this way. I met Ingrid before in Sintra, but we weren't nearly as friendly. I didn't feel the need to be. And then I met her again alongside another friend, and I thought they would just do what they needed to and leave, and I didn't pay them any extra mind. And then everything that happened. You really need people to survive this world. Not power.
Maybe that's what it is. People using power instead of actual people. Not using the people, actually caring about them.
It's one of my theories.
I think I tend to agree with that theory. I wasn't very good before I met Calamus.
Elodie changed me in a lot of ways. Well, more showed me things I didn't know about myself.
Good way to put it.
And it was always there.
I had a friend before, way before. She's long gone now. I said it was important to have friends. Being alone's no good.
Hesitate to ask what happened.
Don't know. Old age, maybe. Sickness. It's there, then she was gone.
I see.
She ran a house that I used to go to after I escaped.
You know, I
The
wanted
first time,
the first time.
I had to do a lot of running, Cersei. The first time because of mage. Second time because of a curse. Third and fourth time because of someone who wanted power. And was just magic to it.
I'm sorry.
It's not your fault.
Maybe not. But as someone who's had to run, and I won't pretend I've run as far as you, I can understand why it gets tiring.
8 decades of running really starts to show.
Yeah, I could imagine.
Sorry that I have an issue with magic.
No, you shouldn't apologize. It's actually what I was going to talk to you about, and then everything with Aurelia happened, and now I feel I don't want to be inappropriate or make you uncomfortable.
There is very little that makes me uncomfortable.
Okay. Well, I was going to offer to show you magic that isn't used for hurting people or hunting monsters.
Oh, I've been kind of trying to do that while you're practicing. I just didn't want to say anything
because I didn't want you to. I know that you said it makes you tired when you're doing all that, so I didn't want to push you.
Wait.
I think that'd be good, because I don't want to get anyone hurt because of my shortcomings.
I'd like to help. We need people, not power.
Need people, not power. Yeah. And maybe one day we'll be happy.
We're still alive. That's something.
That's a lot of something. Especially given all we've done.
It's been a lot. And I'm sorry I was so closed off for a little bit.
You do make an excellent businesswoman.
Oh, thank you.
I'd be scared to make a deal with you.
Should be. You shouldn't be. That was a joke.
I'm not scared of you. Thank you.
You need to thank me. But I'm glad.
I feel it do.
Hmm?
I feel it do. Need to
Oh.
thank you.
And Rogue's just gonna kind of reach out and just touch her on the shoulder and give it a small squeeze.
And I'll put my hand up there and smile.
In this moment, Calamus and Ingrid went back to the cart looking for an axe. An axe that is not there.
Well, I swore I left it here. Like, I hung it right there. That empty spot, right there.
If it's not here, it's not here. She's gonna say as she takes off the broken gauntlet and tosses it into the cart. Going ahead and doing that same for the other one. And probably starting to just doff off her armor.
There's
Yes.
a smith in Atra I can take you to. He might be able to repair your gauntlets for you.
We'll see.
Well, I am going to Atra. I know Relg will at least go with me. I know we have things that need doing. Rest that needs to be had. I don't expect everyone to make the journey.
Well, Cersei, you were close enough to hear Calamus. To say complaining is not entirely accurate, but stating that axe was right there, it hung right.
I look at the axe and laugh.
Should we make him look for it a bit more, or?
Well, I guess we won't have fire tonight.
It's going to be a cold one indeed.
Rogue's gonna kind of sheepishly pick up the hammer and the axe and just.
What are you looking for over there?
Do you know
We
where
need
the
the
fire
axe.
cut it? Oh, there it is.
Hmm.
I knew it was around here.
Did you intend to chop trees?
I did.
You
Built
were
the
kind
wall.
of small.
Want to see it?
Are you sure you can do it?
I did it, Ingrid. There's.
He's strong where it counts.
Do you want to see the wall I built or not?
Darling,
Sure.
show us your wonderful wall.
Runs
How's
that
my
house
hands?
very patched up the side.
Ingrid?
How's my hands, by the way? Because now she
Bruised.
can actually see them.
Terribly bruised. Your knuckles are not broken, thankfully for the padding. And the metal itself absorbed some shock. The padding is really the savior here. Though even the padding itself on along your knuckles is... so for anyone who's armor, it's essentially gloves. The padding, again, because the metal was being bent and broken, is worn in that area. Likely wouldn't hold up another round of that. But, yeah, you're bruised, and, luckily, very lucky that your hands are broken.
Yeah, she's gonna once over them and not care in the moment.
Do me a quick favor as well, Relg. This is retroactive, but we're gonna have you make a crafting roll. Crafting.
It's gonna be so ugly. Oh, that's not bad. Okay. That's an 11.
Decent wall. It's again just kind of chopped wood and patched holes. It's it'll do. It'll do just fine. It's not hideous.
It has character, I think, given what we were working with.
I wouldn't venture to say solid, but it's certainly getting there.
I did have to off a woodworker once, and he had this whole setup with these tools. I think if we had those, it would look a lot better.
Relk,
Hmm?
let's go inside.
Right. He's gonna like nod to Cersei.
So, I need to go see my family. I know we all have things to do. I kind of anticipated that you would want to go as well.
You're not going by yourself. Like that's just what's going on right now. Like
Right, that's what I mean. So, and Calamus will just kind of grab Rogue by the collar and fade to black as they enter the bedroom.
perfect.
Perfect.
Understood. Well,
I had questions. I have no more questions. Never mind. There's no questions.
been there. Ingrid, Cersei leaves you together.
Yeah, Cersei examines the wall, hears something fall inside, and kind of hovers her hand over Ingrid's shoulder and like motions to move away from the wall. Like
What
So
is going on? Okay.
they yes. Okay.
Yeah, Ingrid will move.
And we just step towards the cart. Cersei is kind of thinking to herself for a minute. And says, this can't be easy.
Being home.
Everything.
I could imagine the same could be said for you, but you do have Elodie now.
That I do.
For what it's worth, and for what I can help with, I won't let her get taken again.
Oh, trust me. It would take... no god or monster could take her from me.
After seeing what you did to that Alp, I believe you 100%.
Yep. What can I say? Be prepared.
Ingrid's kind of fidgeting with her hands a little bit, rubbing at the new bruises. And she's going to say, I had another episode. One I haven't had since Vizima.
heard you.
I'm pretty sure everybody was able to hear me. I wasn't exactly subtle about it, but Calamus was there. For as young as he is, he seems to have a good head on him.
He does have a good head on his shoulders. I'm glad. I like them.
They're good people. But I did not want them to see me like this. I barely want you to see me like this, and you're the closest thing to family that I have.
Well, the thing about family is they're not just there for when things are nice. It's like love. A lover.
Say that one more time?
Much like love, a lover.
A better example of the family than the ones that I had growing up. My father sold me. And then I was the Bears, which...
Mine.
Oh, that's right. Wait, I think we haven't had this conversation before, have we?
I don't know. It's lots happened, but no, yeah, we sold to Artusa.
It's the family you choose. That matters, right?
Absolutely. That's all that matters. You matter, Ingrid.
Her breath kind of catches in her throat there. And she's gonna say, "Thank you. You matter as well. To me. You and Elodie both. Sometimes I wonder what my inevitable end is going to be, and I think of what Nyoka told me. That I am a monster as well. And that, well, Witchers don't die of old age.
First time for everything. You're not a monster.
When you look at me, Cersei, I trust you, and I love you. When you look at me, what do you see?
I see you, Ingrid. For all that you are. My friend. My family. A human worthy of love.
Human. If I could cry, properly cry. We have been through so much since Vizima, we have not had room to breathe. And I worry that Can I hug you?
Yeah.
And Ingrid's going to hug her, and it's gonna be a bear hug. Bear hug on the squishy mage.
Mm.
Thank you.
Oh, please. There's no need to thank me.
Yes, there is. We, all of us, will end Renwick because we must. But there's something that I said to Calamus that I think that I need to understand myself before it's too late.
Never too late to find yourself again.
I think I need to move on and let go. But I think the only way that I can is to kill Renwick. And I worry that that itself is going to destroy me.
Well, in my experience, you shouldn't base your happiness on someone or something else.
Maybe part of me was hoping that it's stupid. I'd get to see Aaron again if and when I killed Renwick. That maybe there could be an end to all of this. But it's just a dream. What I saw on your wand was just a dream. I want to be happy again. I want to be happy again.
You will be.
And I hope that we all will be able to keep that happiness. I need to speak to Elodie, too.
I think so as well.
I can't look at her straight. Every time I look at her, I remember that I was the one that asked her to go. That I was the one that sent her to Bear Keep. That I was the one that armed her for that situation, and that still failed her.
It was nobody's fault.
But maybe if I had done something different, Cersei, maybe if I had told her to stay in Vizima with us, maybe if I told her to listen to you, maybe if I didn't encourage her to go.
Both of you, on the subject of Elodie, where is she?
Woman. Speaking of, where is she?
I was about to say heightened senses. Witcher senses?
Yeah, I was gonna use telepathy to reach out to her. I don't need line of sight.
What is the range? Ingrid, roll
10 meters.
10 meters. Ingrid, you said Witcher senses? Roll me awareness, please.
Anyone?
Even vampires leave footprints. Let's see. Quickly piece things together. Alamus's footprints, your own, Relg's, Cersei's, Melody's. Go into the forest. Cersei. There is no reply.
Cersei, look, do you see those footprints? She's gone into the trees. You cut out there a little bit.
I would like to find her.
I will help you. Should we let the others know?
I think they're busy.
My brain must have shut off. Are y'all fucking in my house?
Super late, but yeah. A Christendom,
Oh.
if you will.
Well, those musty sheets needed some breaking in again after all these
mm.
years.
Vintage.
8 years of 8-year vintage.
Hell
hate it.
yeah.
When was the question is, when was the last time I changed those sheets before that 8-year jump?
Give me 8. Give me not 8. Give me both of you.
I
Give me
broke
awareness
Gilbert.
rolls, please.
Again, all these awareness rolls.
I'm gonna use all 3 luck. 'Cause why
Ingrid,
not?
rather than awareness,
Actually,
you
no,
can
no.
choose to use your Witcher training.
Yes, I would like to do that. Let's do Witcher
As a
training
reminder,
because
you
my
both
Witcher
still have
training.
Well, actually,
No.
Ingrid, you've used all your luck. Cersei, you have luck.
Yeah, I just saw it. Actually, 10,
22.
27.
You move. Follow the tracks. Follow the tracks, Ingrid. And Cersei, you follow as well. It's most unfortunate, Ingrid, that quickly becomes less tracking person wandering into the woods, self-relying on tracking of monsters, as there are large leaps, the flits that don't accommodate the size of human steps.
He is moving fast. Did she say anything to you?
Dude, wouldn't go far.
Can you reach her from here? I assume you're going to keep trying to call out telepathy as we're moving closer and or following the tracks.
Yes.
It isn't far. Cersei, you use telepathy third time. There's no reply, but you feel her consciousness. Doesn't reply, but she pushes. Softly trying to out. As you walk, you track the sound of a wet slurp of meat being torn. Few moments in the failing orange glow of the sun, find Elodie transformed, crouched over a deer, drinking deep, tearing into it. She hears your steps, and she looks up, crouched, mounts like a creature, like a woman.
In that moment that we see that she's transformed, Ingrid is going to place a hand on Cersei's shoulder, and no matter the reaction Cersei has, Ingrid's going to try to stop her.
Yes,
Caution.
Cersei stopped, but is looking at her softly.
She shakes
Ingrid's
her
doing...
shame. She's not feral. She knows what she's done.
I think in a sign of good faith, Ingrid is just going to take the clasp of her swords and kind of just pop them and let them fall.
She sees the claws fade. Forehead, the eyes, they all unfurrow. Collapses to her knees. Couldn't stop myself.
Slowly approach her.
Yeah, Ingrid's gonna let her hand off Cersei's shoulder as she moves. Ingrid's gonna move as well, but she's gonna keep enough distance between her and Cersei, so that Cersei is gonna be the first one to reach Elodie.
Fractions of sentences. Couldn't stop. Just wanted.
Hey, it's me.
The blood soaking her hands. The front of her gown, clothes that picked. She looks at the now dead body of the deer. Gods. She begins to weep. It is silent. It's not contained. Similar to a sound that you had made, Ingrid. Echoes. Bouncing from tree to tree. Except as the night suddenly begins to take the sky. She weeps.
Crouch down. Can I touch you? She won't do it. She won't touch her. Just be there for a moment and then say, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. Remember what I said. Do you want me to say it again?
Falls into you.
catch her and stroke her hair.
Ingrid's staying near, but she's just watching for the moment. Her eyes probably for the first time staying on Elodie and Cersei too. She's close, but not wanting to bother the moment.
I still love you. It's okay. I'm here. I'm here.
She stains your dress with tears flow. She grips at you feverishly, wrinkling the fabric to be as close to you as possible.
Cersei will kind of, even though Elodie's bigger than her, will essentially cradle her and rock back and forth lightly.
Really quickly, what's the current condition of the deer that she was just like feeding in? Like, how bad is the damage to it?
It's dead.
No, of course it's dead, but like, is there salvageable meat there?
Possibly. It's difficult.
I'd be a little insensitive.
She ripped into this thing, broke its ribs, and going for its heart.
Oh, okay. I was gonna try to spin it as, hey, we got dinner.
No. Cersei will continue softly saying things like, "It's okay, I have you. I still love you. It's not your fault."
Each word you give for reassurance is met with a sob, Cersei. She clutches at you. No doubt that she hears you. It's just a matter of if really she thinks she's worth it. As
May I?
hold her rise falls. This is where we'll end the session. Thank you. Pick up next week with some downtime. There's some things that we didn't get to that we will certainly do next week. A bit longer than our usual episodes. There's a lot to touch on. Thank you all very much for watching, and of course, thank you all very much for playing. Go around the room, let everyone know who you are, where they can find you, who you played, how you're feeling. Let's begin, of course, with Calamus Acris.
Hi everybody. I'm Avery. As per how I'm feeling, I'm a little eepy, but we're getting through it, This is the way. Yeah, I'm at Golden Gwydion on all the social media platforms. I won't forget this time I am a community ambassador right here for the Rolling Nomads. You can catch all 10 of the first season episodes of Transylvania Beckons, where I am the wonderful storyteller for that game. Very excited for season 2 to come around with its eventuality. You can also catch me on Book of Saints on Friday evenings as the Slick Serpent Erebus Kai. And you can very soon will be able to catch me in Berlin Bloodlines as unsere gnädige Herr Edgar Wade. Thank you guys so much for being here.
indeed. All these lovely things that you're a part of. We appreciate you so much. Let's jump over to Cersei Evelyn.
Hello, I'm Luna or Druid by Night. You can find me at Druid by Night on all the social medias, including here on Twitch where I stream. I play as Rosalind, the first Tremere Prince in Transylvania Beckons. And soon I will be Imogen Lamia on Berlin Bloodlines. I am the social media director here, didn't forget this time. Please let me know if I'm forgetting anything. As for how I'm feeling, in a very nurturing mood.
Where is midnight? When
Exactly.
you need love and care. Excellent. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Let's jump over to Ingrid of Sintra.
Hi, I'm Azure or Rachel. I have a sore throat because I got a bit more angrier as Ingrid than I have in many episodes, and I'm not used to that. Yeah, I am the creative director here on the Rolling Nomads. I have my show Azure Storytelling Studio, or ASS, which is also joined with Avery. Recently, we're going to be doing more Elden Ring this coming Thursday. I am Ingrid of Sintra, the Bear Witcher, who's going through it right now, and trying to just regulate. And I'm also going to be Maria Russellini on Berlin Bloodlines. I am Prince Julian of Volstadt on Transylvania Beckons. And some other fun stuff that's coming out. Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah. It's been an emotional day.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. All these wonderful things that you're on, of course. And thank you so much for being here. Let's jump over to, last but certainly not least, Rel Gwithin.
Hello, I have been Relg, builder, future prospector, and gay, happy, and we're alive. We're working on one of those things.
Gay, happy, alive.
We've completed one of them recently, so good on him. Who am I? I'm as I was on the social media, because I think I'm funny. I'm hungry. I would like some food. That's how I'm feeling. I play the Prince of Our Hearts, Jack, in Transylvania Beckons. So you should check that out. It's a great story. And I will soon be the, what did Huddy call her? The devious, delicious, delightful Adelaide Nagaraja, everyone's weird cousin, on Berlin Bloodlines.
I love that. I don't get neat titles. I just get, like, self-proclaimed ambition, like...
Oh no,
I
you're
will be
Doctor
king forever.
You're
You're
Giovanni.
Doctor!
Yeah, that's self-given.
Tulio Giovanni.
I don't get
So,
neat
wait,
titles.
did you not go to medical school?
Oh, no, I went to... Listen, I went to medical
It's in the
school.
It's talked about in a pre-session.
The
Yeah,
Prince
but
of
medical
the Prince of Bergane?
The
Prince
Prince
of
of Brigade.
The Prince
Question
of
mark?
Brigade.
Nobody's gonna
Enigma?
understand that reference until like
Yeah, we haven't released
a month for now.
You're gonna have to wait for that.
Yeah.
This is that's like
absolutely.
what, episode 3 talk?
Oh man. Well, thank you again, Relg, for being here. Really appreciate you. I of course have been your game master, Gilbert Ramos. You can find me everywhere at Ramos the Nomad. It's TikTok, Twitter, Twitch, all the social media things, though I don't really post, but we are gonna have some TikToks up for Tulio, because gotta. Yeah, I am not the creative director, that's your job. Media director.
You steal my job?
Never. I couldn't do it.
I know where you live.
That's fair. Media director for Rolling Nomads. I make these overlays. I do all this stuff. I do take care of the YouTube and all that good stuff. I am found many places. I pop up in Transylvania Beckons just once. Just once. I won't give you a reason to, or I won't give that away. Why just once? But go find out for yourself, you nerd. I play. What the fuck do I play?
You
Are
run
We Dead Yet?
games.
I run
You run
games.
you're on
Ramon
RV
Flores, world's
Yep.
best thin Ferratu.
Thin Ferratu.
Thin
Yes.
Ferratu.
Yeah, I'm a Ramon Flores on Are We Dead Yet? I run Book of Saints, Scion Godsend, of course, Witcher Ways of Old, and very soon I will be playing Dr. Julio Giovanni in Berlin Bloodlines. Prince of Brigade, question mark? Who knows? That is me. We, of course, have been the Rolling Nomads. You can find us right here on twitch.tv/Rolling Nomads. Yes, Apple, restart right away. You can find us right here on twitch.tv/Rolling Nomads, where we do all of our actual plays, all of our stuff, including Azure Storytelling Studio. Yeah, this is where we are mainly. You can find these episodes over on YouTube. They're uploaded 4 days after the original Twitch air date over on youtube.com/Rolling Nomads. And there's whole completed series now. Transylvania Beckons is, well, not series, seasons, I should say, because there will be a season 2, I believe. Correct? Hell yeah. Gotta love me some Dark Ages.
And 3 and 4. I'm gonna just out myself right now. This is gonna be a full 4-season motherfucking show.
Hell yeah. We love
Do
to
I
see
talk
it.
about what's coming up?
For
Cyberpunk. That's in the works.
That is in the works. Let's hold off till we have some promo material. That's my job. That's my bad. But we'll get that made very soon. That's over. All of our stuff is over on YouTube. YouTube.com/Rolling Nomads. You can find the best way to keep up to date with us is over on Twitter @_Rolling Nomads and Blue Sky, which is @Rolling Nomads. That's where we post our cancellations, our late starts, our YouTube uploads, all that good stuff. And yeah, that's really where we keep all of our announcements and such. You can find us over on TikTok as well @_Rolling Nomads, where you can find clips and highlights and key moments of these episodes. So head on over there if you're looking for a specific moment. It might be over there on our TikTok, or you might find something. You might put on something new, a new podcast or show, I should say, for your morning commute. That, I believe, is us in a handbasket. No, it's not. You want to do the website? It's so new, I keep forgetting.
Yeah, I mentioned, I was like, website? I'm not sure if my mic picked me up.
I'm in my spiel. I'm so in the zone. Do the website thing.
Yeah. Website, it's rollingnomads.card.co. Card is CARRD. We have it's this. I'll put it in the chat.
And it'll be in the YouTube description if you're watching over us on YouTube.
Yep.
Hell yeah. That's our website. It links over to our Ways of Old website as well, where you'll find character stuff, rather player stuff, character stuff, blogs, and all that good stuff. It's still under construction a little bit, but we got the meat of it there, so that's pretty neat. That is us in a handbasket. I have nothing else. We're golden. Thank you all so much for being here, and thank again of you guys, of course, for playing. This has been a longer session, so I appreciate you guys sticking through this. But that's us in a handbasket. We'll catch you guys next time, same place, same heroes. We'll see you then.